me try this again. I'm going to call the meeting of the Access, Academics, and Student Success Committee to order, and thanks to each of you for being here. We will first call the roll. For those of you who may be joining virtually, and I don't know if we have anybody or not, just a reminder to please state whether there are others present in the room with you. Madam Secretary.
Chairwoman Allman, Commissioner Perry,
Present.
Commissioner Ragsdale, Commissioner Ragsdale,
Here.
Commissioner Scarlett, Commissioner Wood,
Here.
Secretary Hargett, Commissioner Morrison.
Nathan James here.
Chairman, you have 4 voting members present and 5 members present.
Thank you. The next item is the adoption of the agenda, and I will entertain a motion and a second to adopt the agenda for today's meeting.
Motion.
Second. Motion and a second. Please call the roll. Oh, okay. Let's do a voice vote on this. Everyone in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public comment. Dr. Gentile, have we received any requests?
No, Mr. Chairman, no request for public comment today.
Thank you, Dr. Gentile. Approval of the minutes with no questions or objections. I'll entertain a motion and a second to adopt the minutes from the May 14, 2025 committee meeting. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any objections? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Our next item is the election of a chair for this committee, and I'll open the floor for nominations. Not everyone has to go at one time. Secretary Hargett declines the nomination. Currently, Commissioner Allman is the chair.
I'm going to renominate Commissioner Allman.
Commissioner Perry renominates Commissioner Allman. Second by Secretary Hargett. Any discussion? If not, I think we probably will call the roll for this.
I'd maybe just ask, has there been any conversation with her about concerns about serving?
Yes, Commissioner Wood, I did reach out to her ahead of time, and she unfortunately cannot be here today. This is conflicting with a corporate board meeting that she also has on her own. But she did express interest. She said, I do intend to be there at the next committee meetings, and I am interested in staying on as the chair.
So we have a nomination and a second, and we'll call the roll on this one.
Chairwoman Allman, Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Commissioner Ragsdale.
Aye.
Commissioner Scarlett. Commissioner Wood.
Aye.
Secretary Hargett. Chairman, you have 4 ayes and 1 abstain.
Motion's approved, and Commissioner Allman is reelected as chair of the committee.
I voted for that.
Yeah.
All right. We have an exciting new academic program we're going to hear about today from Tennessee Tech University, an Industrial and Systems Engineering Master of Science degree. Dr. Katie Brackett with THEC, I think, is going to kick this off for us. Katie?
Good morning, Commissioners. We have one program for your consideration today, a Master of Science in Industrial and Systems Engineering, proposed by Tennessee Technological University. Here to present on behalf of TTU is Dr. John Liu, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. I also want to recognize Dr. Joseph Slater, Dean of the College of Engineering, and Dr. Chris Wilson, Chair of General and Industrial Engineering at TTU. Thank you.
Dr. Liu, welcome.
Thank you. If you have very specific questions, Dr. Wilson and Dr. Slater is there, but in general, I'll present the new program. We're very excited to present to you this new Master of Science for Industrial and System Engineering. As some of you may remember, 1,000 years ago, Tennessee Tech actually had this program, but it was sunsetted like many other universities did. As a consequence, in the country, workforce demand for industrial system engineers has been really in high demand. So we now start this program, I'll give you a little bit of description of the program. This program is designed for any STEM graduates or other related professionals to get additional training in process, organization, and system engineering field. The degree provides both breadth and depth, so it covers both industrial and systems engineering, and also will focus analytical methods for industries. This degree is pretty flexible. It's requires 31 credit hours, can be full-time, part-time, on ground, or online or hybrid. So it can be either research focused or practitioner focused. So this program aligns very well with our state master plan. We'll really prepare graduates, particularly college graduates with a master's degree, eventually serving industry as industry leaders in both technical as well as process and system levels. The program certainly will meet high demand, as I just said, very high demand of workforce in the state and across the nation, as a matter of fact. Also, I have heard already a lot of cases, Tennessee Tech as our state's tech university. We're missing certain areas, and industrial and system engineering is one of those. So it really will make that, quote, completeness of the engineering programs. Of course, we still do not have everything in Tennessee Tech yet, but it's a good step toward that direction. In terms of finances, as you can see, is projected the enrollment is on the top. So by year 3, if all the projected enrollment is achieved, which we believe we will, then the program will break even start in year 3. It will require hiring of 2 additional new faculty members, which will be in searches very shortly, and will require 8 new courses to be prepared. So we have every confidence that the enrollment goals will be achieved, then the program will certainly be sustainable in the long term. Any questions? I think that's all the slides I have.
Are there any questions for Dr. Liu? Secretary Hargett.
Thank you. And you may feel free to defer to someone else if you like. I would love maybe some more examples of maybe some of the industry, some of the businesses that might have expressed support for the program.
Yeah, we did a survey that out of 9 industry sectors, the responses were all very favorable, extremely supportive. The more we get the words out, actually, the more excited some industry leaders are, because this is really very much a deficient area in the state. As a matter of fact, across the country, many schools really canceled out industrial system engineering over the course of last 20 years. We did about 12, 13 years ago. Now, I think there's another level of consideration. Of course, with this AI be on the edge, there's a lot of more knowledge, skills at the industry systems levels than the technology itself. So it's heavily timely as well. Of course, if details, Dr. Wilson, you can comment.
Thank you for having me here today. And just to give you some examples.
If you would, your name.
Yeah, Chris Wilson. I'm the Chair of General and Industrial Engineering at THEC. Honestly, I've got 4 degrees in college and none of them are in industrial engineering, which is exactly the reason why I'm here today. So in my work and career, industrial engineering, I have found to be singularly the one place where all engineers eventually go into engineering management, logistics, optimization, manufacturing processes. And so companies like Nissan, for example, FedEx locally here for Cookeville, several companies that have big footprints, Cummins Filtration, Atmos, they all ask, hey, we like your engineers. Do you have any industrial engineers? A second thing that we see regularly, the employers of our cooperative education students, when we survey the students and the employers about the tasks that they do, they are predominantly working industrial engineering tasks. They just didn't know it. And so while they have an affinity or an identity to what a civil engineer is, an electrical engineer, a chemical engineer, or mechanical or the like, what it turns out that they're actually doing speaks to those sectors, 9 out of 9 industry sectors where industrial engineering work is going on.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Scarlett?
Thank you very much for being here today. Two questions, actually. One has to do with recruitment into the program, and the other one has to do with artificial intelligence. We consistently hear in the news how many engineers we need in Tennessee and across the nation and how important it is. And we know Tennessee Tech does a fantastic job of helping support the next generation of engineers. When you think about recruiting for this, how are you going to be accomplishing that in your region?
We have a very specific, a lot of really on-ground efforts. One of those examples are like dual credit hours program, dual teaching. We get engineers as well as other disciplines going out in Upper Cumberland, teaching high school. They get a dual credits, and that can be certainly used for their college degrees. That's efforts. We also have a lot of regional activities like preview day. We invited that day. I was there probably, I would say 1,300 parents and students show up. So very high interest with engineering. Obviously, as a tech university that Dr. Odom used to say, Tennessee Tech can be as good as our engineering college. So college is really strong, a lot of very high interest. So we certainly have a lot of regional conferences, a lot of, we also use firms, search firms and other things. A lot of mailing out. Our enrollment services have a lot of mailing out to individual students, even getting their interest, not only in this program alone, but in engineering programs in general.
When you think about the evolution of this sort of work and the onslaught of artificial intelligence, how is that being integrated into teaching the student, knowing that by the time students graduate, companies would have already adopted the artificial intelligence inside their businesses? How is that working in your thinking?
Yeah, we're at this edge of AI revolution. I use the word revolution. I don't think it's really overstretched in any way. The real accurate answer, I'm a biologist, the real answer is we do not know, but it's pretty sure, I'm almost certainly sure it's coming. It will be here, will be overwhelmingly important in the society, in industries, in economic and other lives, so routine lives. So not only students need to be prepared, industry leaders and engineers need to be prepared, citizens in general must be prepared to live in an AI era that is almost here on the daily basis. So at Tennessee Tech, we certainly were discussing very actively as to how we can integrate AI education into this dynamic situation. On the one hand, we do not necessarily want to be too much ahead of the game, so graduates have to have a job. So on the other hand, we must be ready. So one of the significant things that we're doing is we just get approved through THEC this couple of weeks back. Dr. Gentile just approved that and program. It's we elevated a program from the computer science, from a concentration of data science and artificial intelligence to now a standalone artificial intelligence bachelor's degree. So that signifies how much input we put in that, because elevation from a concentration to a program means a lot of things. First of all, visibility. A lot of people will search through very simple Google search. You'll get that very quickly. Secondly, to my best knowledge, that's a real solid bachelor's degree in AI, not applied AI, not in other things here in the state, not master's program, but bachelor's degree here in the state. And it's coming almost every state. There's a few other states already have AI programs. We certainly have other applied AI at UT Knoxville. We have master's program elsewhere. So I think each school, it's time to think about these things. At Tennessee Tech, we are also working with an interdisciplinary computing program, which was approved a little bit earlier. We do not know yet how that's going to, in terms of perception, engagement with prospective students, we do not know. But the program was designed to address interdisciplinary computing. So in other words, applied AI aspects of, from not programming, not, the basic stuff, but application.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I will entertain a motion for approval of the Industrial and Systems Engineering Master of Science program. There's a motion and a second. Any further questions? Madam Secretary, please call the roll. Voice vote? Okay, let's try voice vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Our next item is institutional mission profiles, and Dr. Roberts.
Thank you. You're going to see a lot of me today, but I think we'll go through these pretty quickly. But happy to entertain any questions that you have. We're going to kick off this session with our institutional mission profiles. First of all, I want to say thank you to Maya Robinson, who is our project manager in the Bureau of Academic Affairs and Workforce Alignment, who pulled all of this together. So this was no small task, and wanted to make sure to thank her as we're talking about our institutional mission profiles. Just as a reminder, statutorily, campuses are required, universities and community colleges, to annually submit institutional mission profiles. As you can see in the statute, we're looking at them to let us know what characterizes distinctiveness, and as well as institutional accountability. In your materials are all of the mission profiles with any changes highlighted in bold. I did want to highlight a couple of things that I think are exciting for us to celebrate. First of all, Austin Peay has included that they are the first and only, I like to use their language so far, Vets Bravo campus. Hopefully they won't be the only for too much longer, but that has been something that's been added to their profile. UT Health Science Center, we have a lot of friends here today, also has highlighted their mobile health unit that they're using in the College of Nursing to expand rural healthcare initiatives across the state. Also, UT Knoxville has mentioned their new programs, which I thought would be of interest to this group because they've been working us really hard out of their College of Emerging and Collaborative Studies, known as THEC. You guys have seen a lot of programs, a lot of innovative programs from them that they've included in their profile. From our community college partners, Dyersburg State has highlighted that they've been recognized as the 2025 College of the Year at the annual TBR SOAR Awards. Pellissippi State and Southwest are also both working on strategic plans that they have highlighted in their mission profiles. Some general updates. A lot of institutions have included new academic programs, their numbers of degrees awarded, and for our community colleges, we've seen highlighting our increases in workforce training hours. Currently, we use these mission profiles for several things across the agency. One being in the outcomes-based funding formula. We use them in academic affairs as one of the ways that they can show alignment to institutional priorities. However, moving forward, you're going to hear a lot about master plan, or we've talked a lot about master plan. We're on the tail end of that process. So we're hoping that moving forward, we can leverage the mission profiles to show alignment with our master plan. So with that, I'll take any questions if you have them.
Questions for Dr. Roberts? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion on revisions to the academic policy 8.10, new academic programs. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ahead of myself. Let's go back to the institutional mission profiles. I'll entertain a motion on institutional mission profiles. Second.
Second.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Now, let's get to this.
I know you're excited. Speaking of exciting, I have 5 policy revisions for you today. I'm going to go a little out of order, but we're going to start with the new academic programs, which is the most significant amount of changes. As you're aware, we had legislation passed last session that allows the commission to authorize authority to the executive director to approve certain academic programs. In the policy, 4 criteria have to be met in order for a program to be eligible to be delegated for approval. Programs must be in a high priority field. They must fill an immediate or projected unmet labor market need. The median starting salary must be at or above the minimum living wage, and the program must contain less than 50% new curriculum. If a program meets those 4 criteria, then as you can see, we have a little flow chart up here that it will go to delegated authority. One of the things that we wanted to make sure is that the commission could at any time pull a program if they wanted to see it to full commission. So one of the things that we're going to start doing is creating a monthly summary that will be provided to the commission that will let you know what programs have met the criteria for delegated authority. These programs, just to be clear, will still go through the same process for approval. So they still are evaluated by THEC staff. There's still a site visit. That all remains the same. It just splits at the end, whether or not it comes to full commission or if it goes to Stephen's desk for consideration. Couple other small changes to the policy. We've adjusted language throughout so that it aligns with the new process. We've added clarifying language. It's been the process for a while that campuses can submit a full document, both a letter of notification and the new academic program proposal, but just added some clarifying language to make sure that was very clear. That's clarifying language. And then we also provided some more flexibility for early marketing of new programs. There's some other small changes in there. I'm happy to address anything that you have questions about.
Questions for Dr. Roberts? Commissioner Scarlett?
I don't really know that I have a question or more like a comment. Well, given the amount of conversations I think that we have heard or comments we've heard from presidents over the years and kind of creating a more efficient process, like I'm excited about what this can be. I do think it's, I like that you've added in, we would have at least some time to review what's coming across your desk, because I think that's just important purview. On the flip side of this is the creation of new programs. We also still have the existing programs. Is there any, I should have brought this up in our previous conversations, but is there any conversations about how do we elevate those programs that are, I know every year we get the review programs that have been sunset, but really elevate what's not working? Is there other things where we can learn about programs that maybe are not as efficient or students aren't taking advantage of it, so we know that they're not continually just creating more programs?
Well, I'll look to, thank you very much for that question, Mr. Scarlett and Mr. Chairman. I'll look to Julie to talk more about what we've done with low producing programs and like providing that data, in general, putting a spotlight on that. I believe that's what we're talking about here. Because, something that stands out to me, there was later on in the agenda, we're actually proposing to revoke the expedited approval process, because ironically, our current process is faster than the expedited. But that came out of the conversation about 6 years ago when we recognized that there were disciplines that needed to be brought to market much quicker. And I saw some data yesterday about enrollment declines in the computer science field, for instance, by 15% this year. Just a recognition that what was in vogue some time ago may not be now, and which draws the question, how are we putting that spotlight on low producing programs? Dr. Roberts?
Yeah, we do monitor this internally. Many thanks to Amanda Clefane's team. Jacob Kamer specifically has written some code for us so that we can do that much quicker and more efficiently. However, one of the things I will like to say is when we look at the number of new programs versus terminated programs, a couple years ago we did the crosswalk. We could probably do that again, I know we can do that again, but it was about 1-to-1. So our campuses do tend to keep a good eye on the landscape of their programs. Dr. Liu mentioned just a minute ago about an elevation of a concentration. When we see something that's really doing well, campuses are also elevating that to try to make sure they're maximizing their portfolio. However, to your question, we have access to, we can do that evaluation. Happy to provide whatever the commission would be helpful for the commission to hear.
We've been more in a posture of sharing that information transparently with the institutions themselves so that they and their boards have that information too. But when's the last time we brought low producing programs to this body here?
It was 2021.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Thank you.
Of course.
Other questions? Dr. Roberts, anything else on this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I tried this earlier when I was out of order, so let's do it a second time. Is there a motion to approve the academic policy and new academic programs A 1.0?
So moved.
Motion by Secretary Hargett,
Second.
second by Commissioner Wood. And we'll do a voice vote. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Dr. Roberts, continue, please.
Thank you. I'm going to present these next four all at the same time, if that's okay. And I'm taking them a little out of order. Wanted to kind of go a little bit more so they align sensically, maybe. Stephen already stole my thunder on this first one, which is Academic Policy A16, which is our expedited academic programs. Many thanks to Dr. Katie Brackett and her team behind me for all of their hard work. The changes that we've made with the new programs approval process has eclipsed the expedited. So it's actually longer now to do an expedited program approval. So one of the things we've been really focused on throughout all of the changes, and thank you to the commission. I know you've learned more about academic policies than you probably ever thought you would ever want to know. But our philosophy through all of this has centered on making our regular process as efficient as possible while still ensuring quality programs. And so I'm actually quite excited to rescind the expedited because I feel like it's really a win for the team that we can say our new process is quicker than what was expedited 4 years ago. And please stop me if you have any questions about any of these. The next one is our academic program modifications. One, we removed some language just to align to our new process with the delegated authority. And then the second thing we did in this process was we keep talking about elevating concentrations today, but in that process, in practice, we will not allow a campus to elevate a concentration that's considered low producing. Just because it would immediately, to your point, Commissioner Scarlett, would immediately put them on a low producing list. So we've just put clarifying language in the policy that if it's low producing, they're not eligible for elevation. Our next policy, A1.5 is our academic actions notification. This one, along with our off-campus instruction, we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes in really cleaning up our data, cleaning up our systems. And so wanting to make sure that we have up-to-date, accurate data in both our academic program inventory and our off-campus portal. And so with academic actions notification updates, we pulled off-campus notification out of that policy because it makes more sense in the off-campus instruction policy. We also switched it out. We also switched it out so that more than one type of teaching modality, on-ground, hybrid, online, can be captured in the API. Dr. Brackett worked with some stakeholders across campuses to develop new definitions. And so we're just trying to get our API up to date so that it then can handle more than one type of teaching modality. The last thing we did here is shifted the reporting schedule. You'll see there used to be specific dates. In practice, we've been taking these on a rolling basis, so we just wanted the policy to reflect that. So instead of specific dates, we now ask that we require campuses to let us know of any notification 30 days prior to implementation. Our last policy update is for off-campus instruction. The first one is the U.S. Department of Education made some changes to how they classify off-campus locations, which the Council on Occupational Education, who is the accreditor for our TCATs, mirrored. And so no longer can they call something a branch campus, which is also what we have in our policy. So we switched that language to align with both USDOE and COE, all the E's, and call it an affiliate campus. Nothing's changed besides the name. Additionally, we updated the types of notifications. We recently updated that portal and we can handle a lot more information. And so we wanted to make sure our reporting mirrored what we have captured in our data. So a lot of policies. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Dr. Gentile?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to take a moment to thank Dr. Roberts and her team. Over the last 2 years, they have greatly worked to streamline the academic program approval process. Before the change that was just voted on for new academic programs, we've shaved off, we believe, 100 days from approval. And this other change we just made could shave off another 3 months, up to 3 months as well. We are always going to be revisiting our policies to see what we can do to make it more efficient and effective. I wouldn't say we're reaching a breaking point, but we are reaching a point where we've proposed things to the campuses in which they said that could potentially streamline even further. But in their effort to do their due diligence of the programs, have said, actually, we prefer the stacking of these programs, approval processes, rather than doing it concurrently. Also, just to keep in mind, as we'll try to get programs faster to approval, oftentimes the campuses are trying to get their ducks in a row for their own processes as well. So I again, just want to reiterate my thanks to the team for all that you guys have done in communicating with the campuses. We'll constantly reevaluate, but with this most recent change just voted in by this committee, I would say these last 2 years have come together and gelled into where we think we should be right now in this process.
That's a really quick minor question.
Commissioner Perry?
Thanks. Doctor, do you know why there was the verbiage change by the DOE about branch campuses? Like,
I have no idea. They told me that was the change. I said, okay, we'll switch the policy. I can definitely look into it, but it was a very strange, yeah, it's like you cannot call it a branch campus. Maybe, I don't know, maybe just some forestry advocacy somewhere. Sorry.
Thank you. Just wanted to ask maybe for everybody that's watching, or maybe that's someone as slow as I am on all this. So the expedited academic program, that was the part that was authorized by the statute, or?
No, sorry, Nathan. I wasn't clear. So what was authorized in statute was the ability for us to delegate approval
And streamline it a bit.
just to the executive director.
Yeah.
So in the past, everything had to come to full commission.
I get it. This is great. I mean, obviously, there's been, calls over time to make that process more streamlined. This commission's obviously doing its homework, and it's doing it in a very transparent way. And it's good to see, because that's always difficult on the State Board of Education. We have to go back and, there's these rules and the policies and things that are in some cases decades old.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to not pretend that the work of making sure that what you've got on the books is the best it can possibly be. It's very easy to look at the next bright, shiny thing.
Mhm.
And so work like this is extremely important.
Thank you.
Other questions? If not, we're going to try and approve this as a slate. So we're going to take one motion for all of these combined, 1.1, 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6 as presented. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Scarlett. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Dr. Roberts. Is there any other business? Hearing none, we stand adjourned. Thank you for being here. And one last thing, even though we're adjourned, Commissioner Julia Dieter has joined us virtually this morning. So Julia, I hope your studies at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville are going well. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.